Welcome to Birdseeds. Today's episode inspired literally as I was driving back to my home studio to do this. Sort of had this, I guess, a realization, you want to call it. So there's a saying in business that speed kills. And there's a lot of truth to that when you're developing, products or you're developing services or you're trying to get out in the market and make a difference in the market. Your speed to that market is pretty critical. People are going to, copy, imitate you, mimic you right off the get-go. So being able to keep your foot on the gas pedal is so important to be able to get things accomplished and get things done before there's competition, before somebody takes it. And, there's a lot of truth to that. So what I'm going to say next is not to take anything away from that, because speed does kill in business. It is imperative that you move quickly. But there's a caveat. That speed has to be skilled. It has to be cognizant. It has to be intentional. You cannot let quality suffer in light of speed. And it was just in a moment. So I was leaving the house to go show some houses, and I got an offer on one of my listings. And we had another offer in hand, so I wanted to get it over to the seller as quickly as possible. So I did. I forwarded it real quick before I left, just fired it off, said, hey, here's the second offer. Looks good, yada, yada. Well, I went based on what the email said, a certain price. Really, it was a certain escalation clause, if I'm going to be specific. So it had a price with an escalation clause to another number, and that was a good number. That number worked for my seller. So the seller called me. I was still driving and said, hey, yep, sounds great. I think it makes sense. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. So reach out to the other agent to say, hey, just heads up, seller intends to go with your offer. This, you would escalate to this number. Well, lo and behold, the actual contract addendum didn't have that number on it. It had a different number, a lower number. So in light of speed, I didn't slow down to look at the PDF. I was driving. How could I do that? I'm not going to do that while I'm driving, right? How could I do that? So speed. Let's go, seller. Let's go. We start negotiating on something that doesn't actually exist. Now, in this case, it worked out fine because we went back and said, well, we'll take that number if you want it. Otherwise, we're not going to your top. That's too low. And so far, they're taking it. So it worked out in this case. But what I really should have done, had I really thought about it, I guess, what I really should have done, fire off the offer when I got it. Sure, that works for me. I have no problem with that. When the seller called to discuss, what I should have responded with is, hey, I have not had a chance to read everything. I am going to take a look at this when I get done with this appointment. I get parked, and I can do it from the safety of my parked car. Let me do that before we really have any further discussion so I can get back to you on what my real thoughts are. I needed to slow down in that moment and take my time. And that's something that we as real estate agents, we as people tend to fall trap to. We just get so caught up in the go, check the box. And we just don't slow down to take our time. And that's when mistakes happen. That's when we do things that we wind up regretting because we didn't slow down. So in this case, it was a very innocuous reminder to do that. No big negative outcome from it. It worked out in our favor, and that's okay. But again, slow down, take your time, be intentional in what you do, and don't let speed be the only thing. Speed's important, be fast. Don't procrastinate, don't delay, don't whatever. Speed's important, but quality is as important as speed. Take your time, do it right, and then repeat it quickly. Thanks again for listening. Birdseeds, have a wonderful day.